Hey guys, Chris Tapp with the Cold Stares. My friends at Fender asked me to upload a few of the profiles that I'm using with the Tone Master Pro onto the editing software. So if you're using the Tone Master Pro and you're in the Fender editing software, you'll see three profiles that I have that's in there. I have one that's set up as a Marshall rig that I'm using with the Les Paul or humbucker style guitars, my Meteora. I have one set up that's for the Mule Mavis that I play. Resonator style guitars. I have one set up for a Strat that I'm using live as well. When you go through these profiles, I wanted to put up a video just to give a little bit of explanation because I use this a little bit differently than others, I think, live. And these profiles will make more sense with that knowledge. I do not use any monitors, front of house type thing with this. I'm not going out of this into front of house. I'm going out of this into a Seymour Duncan Power Stage 700, which is a massively loud and powerful solid state amp. It has a volume, middle, bass, treble, just like a normal amp. Two inputs, so I can split the signal and run stereo. I can run out of it and power two separate cabs in stereo. I usually do not. I'm pretty simple with my rig. And then I'm going out of that into a 212 Marshall. I've got a couple different ones I've been using live. Or if it's a fly date, I just ask them to have a 412 or 212 on stage whenever I get there. In the studio, I will add the cab or the IR that's in the Tone Master if I'm blending it with a traditional amp and get exactly what I want. But live, I'm using this as a traditional amp. It's extremely loud on stage. It's as loud as I need it to be or want it to be. The floor noise is extremely low. But I like the volume on stage. I like to have sound on stage. I'm not into having it all in the in-ears and not having, volume on stage. My drummer's extremely loud and it would sound weird in the first 5 rows. If we did that, you would just hear drums. So anyway, I wanted to kind of explain that to you guys. If you get in there and you were looking at the profiles, if you want to use them in the studio and you're not using them in a live aspect, then you would want to add a cabinet at the end of any of these chains that I'm using. But anyway, I'm going to go through my main rig, which is the Marshall rig, and show you kind of what I'm doing and how I've got it set up with my Les Paul or Meteora Live. Okay, we're back. I'll show you a little bit of my main rig that I use live. Again, I am going out of this into a Seymour Duncan Power Stage 700, out of that into a real 212 cabinet. In the room, this is the microphone that's just on my iPhone, but I didn't want to put it through a bunch of stuff. I wanted you to hear actually what it sounds like just coming into the phone. It is, again, it sounds like an amp in the room. My Marshall that I have set up, and again, the Line 6, the Fender, the Fractal, they all sound great. They are, depending on how you dial them in, you can get where you want to get. The thing I love about the Tone Master Pro is just so easy to use. It's fun to use. Your pedal board is right there, just like it would be on the ground. If I want to make a switch or change live, so easy to do. I have a Marshall set up just so that it's got enough crunch for me. If I dig into it with a pick, I'm not touching the volume, but if I just lighten up on my pick, if I dig into it, then I've got enough gain. I like it set up like that. I have to have a little bit of dynamics with the guitar live, and this feels and sounds just like the real Marshall that I had. If I'm got it at volume and I'm holding the string, I get the feedback that I want. I get the harmonics and the overtone, just like the real thing. So anyway, enough preaching. I'll go back through these pedals that I'm using live. So you get 2 rows here. I've got 8 pedals that I'm using live. Univibe. love. This is a Vibratone. I absolutely love this thing. I use it live on Headstone Blues. Get you that kind of 60s surf thing going on. Okay, bottom row, I've got my solo tone. So here's normal tone. And you'll notice if I hit this, then the pedals that are coming up that create that pop up so I can see them lit up. I've got a big green so muff in there and a few other things. You'll see it when you get into the profile. So that's solo tone. I've got the royal tone, which just adds a little gain. Few songs that I'd like a little bit more gain on tap from the start. I have that Octobot. So I use on a couple songs. It's fun. Two more. So Space. This is a delay that I use on a couple things live. The breakdown that we do in 2 keys. That's fun sometimes to add with the solo or in and out. You can mix them up how you want to. Sometimes I use the royal tone and the space together. I mix all these up, come up with some different sounds. Swell delay is a fun one I use on Prosecution Blues on the breakdown. So anyway, that's my main rig. I've got just a touch of noise because I'm in the basement studio, but the floor noise on this thing is incredibly low. So if you get into the Fender editing software, you'll find 3 profiles. This is my main rig. If you download it, it's the exact same rig and settings that I'm using live. Mule Mavis, exact same setups that I'm using live. If you've seen us play using the Mule Mavis that I have, or one of the Mule resonator guitars. And then this is the Strat setup, and kind of a similar setup with the pedals, except I'm using a fuzz and some other things with the Strat. But anyway, just wanted to kind of give a brief explanation on things, how I'm doing things live. And again, if you like these profiles and you want to use them in the studio, the only thing that you have to do is go to the end of the chain, hit this little button here to add something. Oops. And you can add a cabinet onto the end of your liking, and then you're good to go in the studio. You can go straight out of this to record with, but live, I like it loud and alive on stage. And I've toured around the world with it. I'm about to go across the sea for another European tour, and I take it with me, and the Duncan Power Stage, they fit in a flight case, and I get over there and I just ask if there's a cabinet on stage, and I sound the same every night. It feels great to have it set up that way every night. So anyway, hope you enjoy, hope you like the profiles, and I will upload some more stuff from the road with my Tone Master. Check out the Tapp profiles in the editing software. Thank you guys.